This is the True American Podcast, and I am your host. I just want to talk to you today real quick about an interview I just completed with the representative from District 36, John Hoxton. Good brother, he just got elected. It's an interesting interview. It's going to be posted. Give me about a week or so from now. I want you guys to check it out. But there's one thing he said in that interview that really caused for me to sit down and think. And he started talking about school choice, where the money should follow the child. In other words, the money follows the child, and it's the parent who decides where they want to send their son or daughter to school. And he was bringing that up because he was expressing the opinion that here in Jefferson County, Louisville, Kentucky, Board of Education is not doing the best job they could be doing given their resources. He explained that the Board of Education budget's around $2 billion, and that averages out to about $18,000 per student. But the results are not very good. And in that interview, he elaborates on that. He just doesn't say it's bad. He throws out stats that show that it's bad. And I also have an interview with someone from the Bluegrass Institute. You should see that, be able to find that interview on booktalkwithcorbin.com, and my interviews with Brother John. So here's my point. $18,000. School choice. The money follows the students. The parents make the determination where they're going to spend that I guess be an $18,000 voucher. I mean, you can take them all sorts of places. You do homeschooling, Catholic school, private school, or keep them in public schools. Nothing wrong with that. I have nothing against the public school. I really don't. But I think it's perfectly legitimate for anybody to say, look, you got a budget like that, and you keep increasing people's taxes, and the results are not getting any better? That's ridiculous. That doesn't make any sense. And I believe the Board of Education can do better. But I don't think giving them more and more money is the solution. And I think if the Board of Education had more competition, they would creatively come up with ways to sort of, they'd come up with ways to compete. They'd come up with ways to say, hey, look, we are capable of educating more and more students, higher percentage of students when it comes to reading and math, the whole bit. We can do it. I think that's what the competition would do for them. I think the Board of Education would rise to the occasion. But anyway, here's my point. Here's one thing that Brother John said in the interview. And it'll be posted on YouTube. And it'll also be on my website. He said when the federal government, the food stamp program, EBT, that's funded by the federal government. That's federal money. And he says that when you receive EBT, the government does not say, oh, you can only spend the EBT at Walmart, you can't spend it at Kroger. Or you can only spend your EBT at Kroger, you can't spend it at Myers. They don't say that. They give you the money, and you choose. You decide. And then he said, why can't we do the same thing with school choice? The government, in the case of parents or parents and guardians here in Jefferson County, they'll say, well, here's $18,000 voucher. You decide. You decide where you want to send your child. And I'm telling you, all that made perfect sense to me. That is a very practical, common sense way of doing things. And it's really the government getting out of the way. And he said, here are your resources, have at it. Go into the marketplace, you determine. Have at it. You go at it. You make the decision. Government gives me EBT, they get out of the way. Here, have at it. You got your EBT. You decide where you want to use your EBT, where you want to spend your food stamps. I can go down here to the corner market, grocery store. Or I could go to a farmer's market. Some farmers markets, some of the vendors, they accept food stamps. I could go to Walmart, or I could go to Kroger. I could go to Myers. Point is, the government steps out of this. Here's the money, here are the resources, and they step out of the way. School choice, why can't it be done the same way? And Brother John made the argument that it can. But I don't want to speak for him. I really want you to be looking for that interview. It should be posted on my website. Again, give me about a week or two. booktalkwithcorbin.com.